Hey friends, how are you? My name is Ebony Anaforo. I'm a U.S. immigration attorney located in Jersey City, New Jersey. However, I represent clients all over the world, all 50 states regarding immigration law. And I want to talk to you guys today about something that has come up multiple times this week. And that is regarding converting a pending marriage-based green card petition into a VAWA petition. Now, the reason why I decided to get on here and talk about this is because I've had several calls this week where I've spoken with potential clients who are currently married to US citizen spouses, and they have a pending marriage-based petition with USCIS. However, they have been experiencing several different types of abuse in the relationship while this marriage petition has been pending. Now, for some of the clients that I spoke with, potential clients that I spoke with, they had abuse prior to filing the marriage-based petition. However, because of fear of being in limbo and not having status, they found themselves staying in the relationship despite being abused by their spouse. Some other people that I did speak to, the abuse happened after the petition was filed. Now, I want to give some examples of some of the issues that I have been hearing this particular week. Now, I've heard situations where after the petition was filed, the US citizen spouse started acting different, accusing the undocumented foreign national spouse of only wanting to be in the marriage for the green card, right? Getting suspicious of whether or not their foreign national spouse is really in it for love. And this happens sometimes, right? Some people might get paranoid and think that, okay, maybe this person is using me for a green card, and I'm not judging, if that's what their true beliefs are. But what happens is, from the people that I speak to, many of the times they're not. They're in it for love. They're in it because they want to be with their spouse. And at the same time, they want to be able to get status in this country so that they can work, they can go to school, and they can support their family. Speaking to one of the potential clients that I spoke with this week, because the US spouse is suspicious of whether or not this is a real relationship, there has been a change and shift in the dynamic of the relationship. Now, what happens? There has been name calling, there has been insults, there has been threats of pulling the application. There has been comments made about potentially having the foreign national spouse deported, lots and lots of psychological and emotional abuse in the relationship. Now, this person called me because they heard about this particular benefit, VAWA, and wanted to know whether or not they have a case, right? Whether or not they qualify to apply and do the VAWA instead of the marriage-based petition. And they wanted to know, like, how would that affect their marriage-based petition? So that is why I wanted to talk to you guys today and really explain to you what it means when you are converting your marriage-based petition to a VAWA self-petition. Now, so what is VAWA? VAWA stands for Violence Against Women Act. And even though it says woman in its name, it is also for men. Men qualify for VAWA just as much as women do. And the purpose of this immigration benefit is so that spouses of, and not only spouses, but I'm going to focus on spouses today, of US citizens or legal permanent residents who are in a domestic violence situation, they have the ability under this benefit, under this immigration regulation, to file a self-petition on their own based off of the fact that they are being abused. Now, the abuse is not limited to physical abuse. So you don't have to provide evidence that you were physically hurt or abused by your spouse, because abuse comes in many different forms. Abuse can be physical, absolutely. It can be emotional, it can be psychological, it can be financial. I've spoken with people who you'd be surprised, have been financially abused and controlled by their spouse, right? So that is a really big one. There's sexual abuse. There's so many different types of abuse. And the regulation allows for these individuals who are suffering these types of abuses to apply for the VAWA on their own. And it's not limited to those people who have never filed a petition. So if you have filed a petition and you have a current petition that is pending with USCIS and you have had abuse in the marriage, it doesn't matter when it happened in the marriage, you may qualify to apply for VAWA. And if your application, your marriage petition is pending, you can convert, right, your current petition into a VAWA self-petition. Now, how does this work? So for most people, specifically those who are married to a US citizen, you are eligible at the time of filing your marriage petition to apply for adjustment of status, which means that while you apply for the marriage petition, the petition for alien relative, you can also file the I-485 form, which is the form to adjust status. Now, once this form is filed, right, you also have access to apply for a work permit and a travel document if you need to. If you are trying to convert your current marriage-based petition, what we do is we write a letter called an abeyance letter, where we're asking USCIS to put your current I-485 adjustment of status on hold, right? So that they can approve and adjudicate your VAWA petition. So they're pretty much going to put your I-485 adjustment of status application that is currently attached to your marriage green card petition on hold, and they're going to convert it to your VAWA petition. Now, in the past, before the USCIS changed their rules around filing fees, now if you're filing for VAWA, you don't have to pay any fees, but prior to the changes that they've made, you would have to, the VAWA application was free. However, you would still have to pay for the I-485. So people who ended up converting their their marriage-based petition into a VAWA petition benefited from the abeyance letter because they didn't have to pay an additional fee. Okay, so that was also helpful. So, and USCIS can only approve one adjustment of status, right? So what we do is we ask that they convert your previous petition into a VAWA petition and hold that adjustment of status until they make a decision on the VAWA. Now, why is this a great opportunity for people who are in abusive situations? One, it gives you agency over your own application. You're no longer attached to your spouse who's been abusive to you, right? Your petition is now in your own control, in your own hands, and they're no longer a part of the process, meaning that USCIS will not communicate with them regarding your VAWA petition. They will not provide them any information regarding your VAWA petition. If you're currently still married, because I do have current clients who are still married, right, or still attached to their spouse, you can even take advantage of using something called a safe address, where you can have all of your USCIS notifications and documents sent to a different address that is not your own. So if you're worried about your spouse getting hold of your immigration papers and sabotaging your case, you can use a different address. For my clients, we use our office address as the safe address. So we receive all the documents here, and then we communicate with our clients directly as to how they want to receive copies of their notices. So a safe address is also one of the benefits of filing a VAWA self-petition. And for VAWA, when a VAWA petition is approved, there's no interview to get approved for VAWA, right? You will usually get the VAWA approval, and then they will make a decision on your I-485, right? In many cases, in most of my cases, my clients have been receiving the VAWA 10-year green card, which is another benefit, without an interview at all. So for those of you that are afraid and worried about having to sit in an interview and worried about what they'll ask you, one, even if you had an interview, they're not even allowed to ask you about the abuse itself. So a lot of times people get worried and they don't want to have to relive that and talk about the abuse. Well, they're not even allowed to ask you about the abuse that you face. That's one thing. And in most cases, not all cases, right? I can't guarantee you that you won't have an interview, but in most cases, there is no interview for VAWA, for the adjustment. A lot of times we're seeing now, currently at the time that I'm shooting this video, that a lot of people are having the interview waived for the VAWA adjustment of status. So those are some of the benefits. So I came out here to just talk to you and give you this information because I know that a lot of people are struggling with whether or not they should just continue with the marriage green card, even though they know that things are a little iffy, even though they know that their spouse has threatened to sabotage the process. And I say that you have an option. Okay. And VAWA is a great option because you don't want to run the risk of having the whole immigration situation worse off than it could be, right? Especially when you have spouses who are threatening to sabotage you and sabotage the process. So VAWA is a great option for you. If you have any questions about VAWA, if you want to know if there are particular facts in your case that are nuanced and you want to speak to an attorney to kind of go through that and see what is the best route you should take, you can go ahead and give me a call. You can text me, you can WhatsApp me, you can even send me a message so that we can set up a one-on-one consultation to talk about your options. VAWA is a great option for so many people. We've been able to help so many people get a green card through VAWA, even people who are currently in removal proceedings. So if you are in removal, if you have a pending deportation, or even if you have an old deportation from years ago, we've been able to get clients, individuals who have had old deportations from 20 years ago, from almost 30 years ago, get their cases reopened, closed, terminated, and get them a 10-year green card. So this is a great benefit for so many people, especially for those of you that have been suffering and for those of you that have been suffering in silence. So I want to let you know that there is an option for you. There's hope. And the green card is right around the corner. So if you have any questions, you can go ahead and give me a call and I will be happy to talk to you. See you next time. Bye.